more point.
Please.
I'll take an example of Kohli's form. Okay, we all knew Kohli has a potential, and it's just matter of time that he will start scoring. Okay, so right, so and it actually, and he did yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So what
Too
we
late.
need?
Too late.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, we lost this one. But coming to that point.
So we've lost the game.
Yeah,
No?
but coming to that specific, what we need is that without VGF, without any clutches,
Correct.
if there is a single announcement of hydrogen deal getting cracked, I think we are through. Just to get you the perspective where Vibrant is involved in some of the early discussions, and there we are not talking about any viability gap funding, nothing. We believe in a simple word, stupid, it's economics. So that's the motto on which we are trying to find this one. So thanks to the adventurism of some of the Western countries, the landed price of the natural gas has skyrocketed. So there are industries in India, they're paying almost $5 to $6 per kg of the hydrogen, gray hydrogen. And that's where we are concentrating. That's the market where we are right now working. And there, the hypothesis which is getting slowly formed up is, apart from replacing so-called higher price gray hydrogen, we will sell oxygen also. That revenue from the oxygen is another way to make it I would say, a bankable. So for our first project, Macquarie is Vibrant is a Macquarie GIG funded platform. So Macquarie is kind enough to tell us that, Shardul, you go ahead and secure the contract for us, okay? But going forward, for the second project, I won't give you entire 100 on the electrolyzer side. They have said we'll fund entire 100 rupees of the electrolyzer, but renewable energy, anyway, you will get that. So that's how we are moving ahead. So now we are very clear where we want to hit the target. So hit the target is how we can, this $5 to $6 target customer. There are. I mean, at the end of the day, there are customers who are actually consuming that much money to produce 1 kg of the hydrogen. And then
because the input price has gone up.
Yeah.
But what's your future energy curve pricing looking like?
Yeah,
this is not. Is this a 10-year projection?
So it's to support that. So probably this pricing would be at the peak, maybe 1 year, 2 year kind of this one. To have a 10-year or 15-year horizon for under a contractual obligation, we need to have a supporting revenue. The first supporting revenue is real supporting revenue right now is the sale of oxygen. Second, as we progress.
And just give, for the benefit of audience, what's the percentage of oxygen?
Right. So this will be somewhere around 20% of that revenue, 20, 30%. So 1 liter of oxygen, 1 liter of water, if you do electrolysis, you get 1 SCM of the hydrogen and half a SCM of oxygen. That half SCM of oxygen is getting, 1 SCM is getting priced at 32 rupees per SCM. So if that you start valuing that and prepare your market plan in compliance with the market realities, I think you are hitting.
So a quarter of your revenues, additional revenues could come from sale of
and
oxygen.
Then as and when carbon gets.
I'll just draw, Ajay, what's the price in or need for oxygen in a wastewater treatment plant?
See, one of the biggest cost in waste treatment is energy.
Yeah.
And when you say energy, it's oxygen. So it's about 60% of the operating cost, irrespective of the type of waste you treat. So you may treat municipal sewage or you may treat an industrial sewage. Energy and oxygen is about 60% of the cost. Now, having said this, I think the discussion should be on the cost of water, which is required for producing
Which
hydrogen.
I know you will talk later on today.
So just to bring in and add on to what Shardul said is, that's not going to be a constraint. because it's always going to be lower than about 2 euro cents, irrespective your hydrogen is at $5 a kg or maybe $1.5 a kg. Now, if you have the oxygen recouped and reused, let's say, either for your process or for selling it off, I think we are looking at about probably about 10-cent reduction in the price of hydrogen. So it reflects to about something like about some back of the pack calculations about $1.25 a kg of hydrogen.
There you go.
So as on when the carbon will get priced in India, yeah, as on when the price of the carbon will get stabilized, we would have more clarity. Right now, to make a 10-year contract for me, I need to bank upon the sale of oxygen. And I openly say, I don't have, as a Vibrant, we have a policy. We want to make hydrogen as affordable to the end consumer as possible. So we have said, whatever oxygen revenue comes up, let's share it. In fact, you take entire. We have gone it.
So the answer that's coming out, it's everyone's responsibility to move one step closer to that price.
Yeah, so
right?
we
Right?
need one century. We need one deal getting announced, and I think then it will just free flow.
Right.
That's what I believe.
So government
and
announces.
But the hard work is happening. Hard work is happening on the ground. Many, like us, I'm sure there are so many other intelligent guys who would be working. I'm glad that a colleague from the AMP raised that issue just before this one. So yes, we need banking, first of all. We need monthly banking that definitely eases out the pressure to give RE on a RTC basis. So let's say in a day, you have somewhere around 96 time blocks of 15 minutes each, okay? So currently we are able to meet, let's say 80%, 75% to 80% of the time, we will be able to match the renewable energy produced somewhere else with the consumption point of the electrolyzer.
And is that state specific or is it national?
This is, that renewable plant can be anywhere, okay? But my
banking.
electrolyzer is going to be first the co-located, that's for sure. Because we do not have a kind of a luxury of transporting hydrogen and doubling the cost on a landed basis. So we are very clear, it has to be co-located in the industrial premises. Yes, our plants can be somewhere else, and on a landed basis, we can actually look at a price which is competitive, and to make that competitive price, I need a banking and I need a waiver on the currently there is a waiver on the ISTS losses, but there is charges, but there is no waiver on the ISTS losses. So if we get that, we will move 1 inch forward. And I'll tell you, it's going to be the battle of every rupee to reach to the viability. And that's what we are exactly undergoing. Next version. And every version, we are moving ahead towards the mutually agreeable price of the hydrogen. Yeah. So that's where we are working on the blended cost of the power for the electrolyzer. That's what the pricing of the hydrogen is getting determined.
What is that power cost?
That is coming to, thanks to the electricity duty component. Landed cost of the power is anyway coming to more than 5 rupees 20 paisa or 5 rupees 30 paisa. And then you have, fortunately in some of the cases, you have biomass-based co-generation plants out there. So blended cost basis, we are talking somewhere around 550, 570 types. And that's my input cost to the electrolyzer. Co-located biomass plants can sort of help, but the problem we would see is that if you have to monetize the carbon credits coming out of that in the international markets, biomass is not recognized as a fuel which will make green. So I will have to deduct that much 20% while they need a source of proof.
Or you bring CCUS on it.
Yeah.
We have a technology which actually we are looking at is actually it is not burning. It is with using a charge.
Biochar. So then you can become a carbon negative also.
That is
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It is actually something which is I would say also a kind of a future of things to come. We are not looking at generating methane. So let's be very clear there. But definitely there is a possibility of us exploring
And wherein we take a guideline of GHO. GHO is trying to come out with a guideline that when we call a green hydrogen, when there is an emission less than 1 kg, that's the time we call it as a green hydrogen. So if we are, by using all this, we can still demonstrate that our emission for the energy, renewable energy which we are using is less than 1 kg, then I think we are on the game.
So her definition
Hello.
of
Yeah, just to this one, it's like lifting a Govardhan Parvat. So we need the multilateral financing institution to play a role of Krishna first, and then the rest of the guys to support that. That's for sure.
She's soft signal. Look, bank is already, dress code of green also, right? Okay, so final points on 24/7. I think we've summarized. 70% is available, 30% another aggregator or bucket filling exercise. But ultimately, please model your cost of landed power at 5 rupees, right? Don't.
Right now it's 5 rupees. If my humble submission, if we can actually, there is a 96 paisa of the electricity duty sitting in that 5 rupees 20 paisa. If we can remove that also, straight away we are talking at 4 rupees. Looks interesting because everything 1 rupee saved multiplied by 60 is the saving in the cost of the hydrogen. Bankability means what? Bankability means predictability of the net revenue to repay the.
No. So are you saying this extra bit?
Yeah, okay. Bankability, yeah, I move one step closer. Means right now, anyway, if I add oxygen revenue, the project is bankable.
Right.
There is a IRR, there is a DSCR. Fortunately, in the first few projects, we won't have debt on the electrolyzer part of it. But renewable energy, no problem.